It looked like a careless mistake. Hours later, the chaos begins. The Japanese yen is violently crashing to a 40-year low, crossing 163 per dollar. And speculators are circling like sharks. But suddenly, an invisible wall of cash slams into the market. The yen spikes back up. United States and Japan have just launched a massive coordinated joint market intervention. The internet instantly explodes with questions. Did Japan somehow force the United States to save its currency? Is the world's biggest superpower actually dependent on Japan? Well, to understand why this happened, you have to look at the terrifying mechanics of global debt. Think of the global economy not as a competition, but as two mountain climbers tied to the exact same rope over a massive cliff. The cliff is America's record-breaking $40 trillion national debt. To fund this massive debt, America relies heavily on foreign countries to buy its government bonds known as treasuries. And who is the single largest foreign holder of the US debt on planet Earth? Japan, holding over $1.1 trillion. Now, when the yen started plunging, Japan faced an emergency. To save their own currency, they needed immediate cash dollars to buy back their yen. If US didn't step in to help, Japan would have been forced to do something catastrophic. Pull their emergency trigger and dump hundreds of billions of dollars of US treasuries onto the open market all at once. If Japan dumps those bonds, the price of US debt crashes. And when bond prices crash, US interest rates violently spike. Instantly, every day, American credit cards, mortgages, car loans become brutally expensive, threatening to trigger a massive domestic US recession. So did Japan force America? No. America stepped in because letting Japan fall meant pulling the US economy off the cliff right along with it. It's called extreme mutual financial interdependence. But this raises a massive question. If the Indian rupee or the Chinese yuan started crashing, would US Treasury step in to save them too? Absolutely not, especially not for China. Because China is America's biggest economic rival and they are playing an entirely different game. While Japan is a strategic ally, cutting US debt strictly for emergency cash, China has been intentionally, systematically, halving its US debt holdings for a decade. So the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent's to-do list was not a favor to Tokyo. It was a calculated defense mechanism because in a world where everyone is tied to the same economic rope, sometimes saving your neighbor is the only way to save yourself. So follow for more such geopolitical updates and subscribe on YouTube.